Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching this video. So in today's video, I will be talking about my hair care journey, how I grew my hair this long, and just my tips and tricks. So if you're interested in that, continue watching. So those of you that are new to my videos, the purpose of what I'm trying to do with this series is to explore and go on this journey with me of learning how to do my natural hair. Growing up, my mother always took care of my hair. Every Friday would be wash day and she would put it in braids, either in 2 French braids or in like 5 braids. I have 2 younger sisters, so it was always like a cute style, but not like very skinny or thin braids. And I've never relaxed my hair, I've never colored my hair, I've never done there's never been chemicals applied to my hair. And I really appreciate that now that I'm older, because she really took the time to manage my hair, my sister's hair, and make sure that it was always healthy and never had to, was never allowed to, and never experimented that way. Although I do remember the older that I got, especially finishing elementary school, going into high school, I wanted to straighten my hair a lot more, and straightening my hair was always a treat. It was never the norm. So I remember like going through that phase of wanting to straighten it and like secretly straightening it myself, but obviously it looked awful. But yeah, that's how I grew up. And so my hair up until that point was relatively in really good shape. It wasn't until high school when I started to not want to braid it and have it out and natural, that I noticed that, okay, there needs to be a different routine, a different care needed to maintain those types of styles. And I just never perfected it. I never figured out what products worked well for me, what was the correct way to like optimize my results and get the beautiful and natural and curls that you see everyone in the curl community have, everyone on YouTube have. Barely any frizz, really defined, really like looking healthy. I couldn't figure out how to do that. And as much as there's so many videos out there, I could never find someone who could relate to me in not really knowing what they're doing, but documenting their journey doing it. And so that's what I'm trying to do with these videos, is learn from each video on what works well for my hair, what doesn't, what I would do again, what I would do differently, and just sharing that information. And so that's what led me to this video. So like I said before, it wasn't until high school that I started to kind of deal with my hair on my own. But even with that, my mom was always involved in some way, and very grateful for that, because I remember not really detangling my hair properly, and realizing that there was just knots all the time everywhere, and so having to actually divide my hair and take out all of those knots. Like, these are all things that I never considered or never really dealt with on my own. I mean, like, yeah, I would wash my hair on my own, but because she would braid it for me, any of those knots that I didn't take out in the shower would like be brushed out while she braided it. So the fact that now I was just doing everything on my own, if I wasn't detangling well enough in the shower, then that means my hair afterwards would not be detangled properly either. Anyways, so getting back to what this video is about. So how I grew my hair this long and what I've been doing. So for me, I try to wash my hair once a week. Not more, not less. There have been times when it's been like a week and a half, if I'm honest. But generally I try to keep it once a week, and this is just so that my scalp is like properly cleaned. You know, if my scalp is properly cleaned, then that would mean that it's helping with the hair to continue to grow. So doing that, connected to that would be that I will always, whatever my hairstyle is in the beginning of the week, that will be my hairstyle for the whole week. So it's kind of, it can depend, because if my hair is not looking that great after I washed it, I kind of have to suck it up. Like, obviously try to do cute things with it, but I won't rewash it. I won't add heat. I won't do anything to manipulate it afterwards. So whatever the style is then is the style it's going to be for that week. Which kind of connects into, sorry, I took notes. I'm like a forever student. I'm a student, so for me, notes and like writing things down is how I remember. So if I'm looking down, that's why. And so, yeah, so that just connects to the fact that I don't really manipulate it much. Like, whatever the style is for that week, that's what the style will be. And then I wash it, and then I move on to something else. I also will try to braid it, not necessarily protective styles, but I'll do 2 French braids, and I'll leave that in for a couple of days and then take it out and then have it in that style, so like a braid out style. And I just find that doing the French braids for a couple of days just helps me to, obviously it's lower maintenance, you don't really need to do anything, but I find that my hair kind of has the chance to regroup, if that makes sense. Like, just being like one style, not change, nothing really happens to it. I feel like it has really helped my hair to be better. I don't know if that makes sense, but I try to do that a couple times a month. I'll have it in 2 French braids after I've washed it, and then I'll leave it in for a couple days, then I'll take it out. And I've noticed a really big hair length retention doing that. And I think it's because it's in that braid, it's not brushing up on anything, it's staying in a detangled state because it is in French braid, so there's no way for knots to form or anything else to really happen. So that's been a really big game changer for me. The reason why I take it out after a couple of days is I've noticed that the older I get, I feel like I get like, it's too much for me to leave braids in for longer than 4 days. Like, if it gets to like 5 or 6 days, I just feel anxious. I don't know why, I don't know what it is, but I just don't like the feeling anymore. So the French braids work perfect for me because it's just 2, and it's easy to take in, easy to take out, very easy to do. And so that's been my go-to. I've never done protective styles other than when I was growing up. But even then it would be for a week. So I don't know what the definition for a protective style is. If these examples qualify, if it does, then great. That's what I've been doing. But if not, I would just say doing some type of braid that will last for less than a week. And then I like being able to take it out and having that hair texture as well. So that is a big thing that's really helped to grow my hair and keep it long. Next thing would be, I very rarely straighten my hair. If I do, it would be 2 times a year. And once it's been straightened, I don't straighten it again. I don't like re-straighten sections after a while. I don't put curls in it. Like, if I want it to be a little bit more of a wave, I'll just secure it in a really tight bun overnight and then take it out. And I find that that gives enough of like a wave. I won't add any hairspray or any other products. I might add a little oil just towards when I need to start to wash it, just to give it that shine that it had in the beginning. But Other than that, like, I don't straighten my hair often, and each time that I do straighten it, I trim it. Um, and that's just because for me, I'm someone um, who enjoys it to be cut when it is straight, or at least like when it is blow dried, and at like not in its natural curly state is what I'm trying to say. I just get very nervous about cutting it when it is curly because I just feel like it's easier to take off more length than I need to take off. So when it is straight, just being able to see, okay, where are those split ends? Where is it not even? Which areas need more support? Um, I just find that that's like the perfect time for me to cut. Um, and then also it's nice because then by the time I wash it, hopefully it's grown a little bit, because I'm always looking on the floor and regretting that I cut it, even though I know it needs to be cut, and like everything else, I still like in the back of my head have that little bit of, oh no, if I kept it, I should have kept it. But like, no, I know that's not a good, I know that's not good. So trimming it honestly is so important, because if you don't trim it, then yes, you have that length right now, but it's going to break off. It's not healthy. So trim is important. Connected to that is the idea of not using heat. I try to minimize how often I apply heat to my hair, even with a blow dryer. Although I am seeing the benefit to diffusing my hair. I've heard that when you diffuse your hair, when it's curly, you're like locking in that style, and it'll help to minimize frizz and everything else that can happen when your hair is still wet and susceptible to all of these changes in heat and humidity and everything else. So that might be something that I will incorporate more into my routine, but perhaps starting to diffuse it after an hour in. So letting it air dry for the first hour and then going in with the diffuser, or only going into with the diffuser to my roots. I don't know. I have to still work that out, but I do see why diffusing would be a benefit, especially if I want my wash and go to last a week. So ensuring that there is that definition for it to last a week. Because this would be an example of me not diffusing my hair and noticing that all the underneath parts that touch my neck when it's wet, not really holding that shape and lasting as long. So yeah. And then I know that the next thing that I'm going to say might be a little bit controversial, and I don't necessarily know the right answer yet for my hair personally. But I know that the use of oils, either oils on the hair and oils on the scalp, is a controversial topic. If I'm being honest, I grew up with applying oil on my scalp. As a child, that was the way that my hair was maintained. And everyone that I knew that had hair like me, all my cousins, that's what everyone did. And if I'm being honest, I don't think my scalp has ever been as healthy as it was when I was a kid. I never had a dry scalp. I never had dandruff. I never had any issues with my scalp growing up. And I've noticed that, well, once being in high school and then in university, I've definitely noticed that my hair has been more dry, has been like flakier scalp. And so, and I haven't been using oils. So I don't know. I don't know. I know that a lot of people are either very against oils or very pro oils. So just because of my experience growing up and the difference I've seen in my hair since not using oils, I would be leaning more towards oils, using oils on your scalp, using oils in your hair. But I understand if that's not everyone's cup of tea. So I'm just going to leave that at that. And then the last thing I would say for what I've been doing or what I continue to do is I really try to listen to my hair. I try to know and understand when my hair feels dry, when my hair feels like it needs moisture, when it needs a hair mask, when it needs an apple cider vinegar rinse, when it needs to just be in 2 French braids and left alone for a couple of days. Like I try to, this might sound so weird, but I try to understand my hair, understand my scalp, um, anticipating those needs and then reacting to them. That's one way, or trying to be proactive sometimes. Um, so for example, I live in an area where wintertime is really cold and it's really dry. Knowing that, trying to be proactive and making sure I have more moisture in my routine, either through my hair care products or through my masks. And then reactive is usually when I notice, okay, I think I have product buildup. Let's reset with an apple cider vinegar rinse. So just really listening to my hair, listening to what it needs, is something that has really helped in keeping my hair healthy and strong. So that would be my last tip. So that is all I wanted to say. That's all that I can think about and that I've taken notes on. I'm sure there's a lot more that I either forgot, or a lot more that exists out there that maybe you guys know. So feel free to let me know what that is. I always am so interested to hear about other people's experience, what they do. I feel like the more that we share, the more that we learn, and the more that we can all get better at this together. Being truthful right now, this is what my hair looks. One thing is that when it dries, it does shrink a lot. When it is wet, it is up to my waist. And I've never dramatically cut it. I've only, I do those trims. I've never had to do a big chop. And so my hair has been medium to long length my whole life. When it is curly like this, it is more difficult to notice the length. But my hair is so important to me. It's the thing that I love taking care of learning more about. And so I just thought that I should share this with everyone. I've never tried the like rice water masks or those types of treatments. I have heard really good things. I've seen really good things about it. Maybe that will be something that I'll try, or if you guys are interested, and I'll do a video on it. But apart from what I've said I've done, that's really all there is to it. I have been contemplating, because I've never done anything really adventurous with my hair, potentially coloring it. I don't know. If you've seen my other videos, you've seen that I started to use the Olaplex #3 mask. And so maybe that's my subconscious telling me that I need more Olaplex products because I'm going to color my hair. I don't know, but that if there's anything that's been on my mind, that would be it. But other than that, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for being on this journey with me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, and if you like my other videos, subscribe, share this one, like this one, and I'll see you in my next video.